Hello and welcome to today's eBay for Business webinar on marketing tools. My name's Hannah Hardiman and I'll be your host and presenter today. Now before we get started, there's something important to note which is going to improve the quality of the presentation at your end. So please make sure that you're not running any programs, downloads or updates in the background which are using up bandwidth. They're likely to slow down the streaming of the presentation. If you share your internet connection with other people, please ask them to also do the same. If you're watching from home and anyone in your household is downloading music, watching TV or movies on demand, or playing online games, it's likely to slow down the video. Okay, so let's get started. In putting together the content for any webinar, it's impossible for us to get it absolutely right for everyone listening in. So we've pitched the content of today's webinar at an intermediate level and made sure that the content is relevant for people who are running a business on eBay, rather than private users of the site who sell items from time to time. This particular webinar is focused on the tools and features which are available to eBay Shop subscribers. But don't worry if you don't already have an eBay Shop. It's easy to subscribe if you decide that you'd like to use some of these tools and features. So we're assuming that you are an established business seller. You're selling primarily on ebay.co.uk, although you may be selling internationally too. And you want to increase sales and grow. We've also made some assumptions about you. We've assumed that you've been using eBay for a little while now, but you haven't made the most of promotions. As we've already said, it's designed for sellers with an eBay shop, but it doesn't matter if you don't have one yet. And finally, and the most important point here, is you're open to learning and acting on what you've learned. It's sometimes great that we can listen to webinars and get lots of information, but it only makes a difference to your business when you do something with what you've learned. So we really hope that you're going to take some of this information and apply it to your eBay business. So this session is going to last about 60 minutes, and during that time, we're going to be sharing some really practical tips and advice. We're taking questions throughout, so if you do have a question which is related to the content of this webinar, you can type it into the Q&A box. We've got some of our team ready to answer questions for you. And we'll also be continuing the discussion afterwards on the eBay community. So this is our eBay social network. If you haven't used it before, it's a place where you can go meet other eBay sellers online, ask questions, and get some of those questions answered either by ourselves at eBay or by other sellers who are using the platform every single day and they know it really intimately. So if you've got a question, type it in there. We may not get to every question today, and you'll get a typed response back. But do continue the discussion with us in the community afterwards. So what we're covering today, so here's what's on the agenda. We're going to look at how to set up multi-buy offers using the Promotions Manager tool. We'll look at how to run a sale using the Markdown Manager tool. So that's what will generate the was now pricing on your listings. Then we'll talk about how to create sale pages. Now these are promotional pages which showcase all of your discounted items. And that's a combination of using the Markdown Manager tool to create the discount and then the Promotions Manager tool to actually create the promotional page for you. In addition, we'll also be looking at how to create combined postage and free postage promotions. Now, there's also a few things that we're not going to be able to cover in 60 minutes. So two of the types of offers that you can get on the Promotions Manager tool we're not going to talk about today because these are much more advanced. So that's the codeless coupon offer and the accessory discount offer. But don't worry, if you're interested in learning more about those types of offers, we did run some webinars last year and you can watch the replays of those. Nothing's changed on how to use them, so those webinars are just as relevant today as they were when we broadcast them. Okay, so let's get started and talk about eBay's marketing tools. You may or may not be aware that we do have some tools available for you to use to run promotions and increase your sales on eBay. So these are the ones that are designed to help you run price promotions and sales. If you've got a physical store, you may be doing this already and wondered how you can translate some of those multi-buy offers or bank holiday discounts onto your eBay store. Well, we're going to show you how to do that. So 7 reasons to use promotions and sales on eBay. Well, firstly, they can help you to increase your basket size and or order value. Some of our sellers tell us that while they get a lot of business on eBay, people are typically buying one item at a time, and they'd really like to get people buying 2, 3, 4 items at a time, or stocking up on things that they might need on the coming months and buy it all from that seller. So that's what the promotions will help you to do. Secondly, you'll be able to display promotional messages to buyers in key areas of eBay, and we'll show you what those are in this webinar. Another reason to use promotions and sales might be to clear end-of-line or overstocks. There might be things that are just taking up space on your shelves or in your warehouse. They're not earning you any money, they're just depreciating over time, and you just want to clear them so you can bring in new season stock. Another reason to use promotions is that it's a way on eBay of showcasing your other items to buyers. So you may have noticed on other sellers' listings that there are boxes that are showing their other items. You may be using these yourself already. You can also create your own seasonal promotions. So we've already mentioned bank holidays, things like Father's Day, summer sale. There might be times of the year that you want to discount or drive increased volumes of sales, but you don't want to change the price permanently on your eBay listing. This is a way to do that. So you can get some seasonal promotions, drive interest in your listings at certain times of the year, but sell at full price the rest of the year round. Another reason to use the promotional tools that we've got available on eBay is that it can actually help to reduce the amount of time that is spent answering buyers' questions about prices and postage. So you may be getting queries from buyers saying, well, I'd like to buy 2 or 3 or maybe 10 or 100. Will you give me a discount for those? And it's taking up time for either yourself or the people that work with you answering those questions, where with a promotion, you can show them what sort of deals they can get for multiple orders at once. Another aspect that people get asked a lot of questions about if they charge for postage is, do you combine postage? If I buy 2 different items from you, will you put them in the same parcel, or am I going to be paying twice, one for each parcel? And also, if you're a newer seller, running promotions can be a great way to kickstart your business on eBay. Get your feedback score up, build trust with your eBay customers, and that in turn is going to help you to get more sales on eBay. So what about buyers? Why do eBay buyers like promotions and sales? Well, on eBay they already feel like they're getting a bargain, but this can help them to feel even more like they're getting a bargain. On your listings, when you use promotional tools, people will be able to see the discounts that you're giving to them. So it's much more powerful than just doing a straight price change on your listing. They can then see which sellers do offer deals on bulk orders. They don't have to keep contacting sellers asking around who's going to do them a deal. They can see that right there. Sometimes people are a bit shy of asking questions and they'll just buy from somebody else, although we know a lot of eBay buyers do like to ask questions, and some people can say they're a little bit high maintenance sometimes, but that's all about the community that we have with eBay. People do feel they can engage with you as a seller. You can also help your buyers to save on their postage costs, and that's if you normally charge extra for postage. Of course, if you bundle the price of postage into your the price of your item and you label it as free postage, then that's not so much of a benefit for the buyers. So because they're already getting what they see as free postage. Now, of course, we know that postage isn't free. You can't just go to Royal Mail and they'll send it for you for free. But what we're talking about here is bundling it into the price that you charge your buyers. Buyers can also order multiple items from the same seller and get them all in one parcel. And this can be quite important for buyers who don't want to be waiting in for lots of different parcels to arrive. They don't want to keep popping down to the post office or multiple trips to do click and collect. They just want it all in one parcel. And the other thing is, we've already talked about how you can showcase other items. Well, this helps buyers to get inspiration about other items that they can buy. Right, so let's look at the 2 key marketing tools. And there are some others that you can use on eBay, but today I just want to focus on these ones. So with the Promotions Manager tool, this actually gives you access to 4 different promotional types. There's the order size discount offers, and that's your classic multi-buy offers. So buy 2, get a discount on a third, buy 4, get 1 free, that kind of thing. Then there are accessory discounts where people can get a percentage off or a cash amount off a second item that's associated with the first. So typically it's on things like games consoles with games, and you're getting discounts off the additional items. Codeless coupons, which allow you to run targeted multi-buy offers, which are sent out to just specific buyers. And sale events. Now, the sale events are where we combine Promotions Manager with the discounting that you're getting on Markdown Manager to create a promotional page. So Promotions Manager as a tool is really suitable for listings with multiple units, but you can use it for one-off items. So people who are selling in the collectibles categories may have a collection of lots of different types of postcard. And while each of them might be a one-off, they can offer collectors of postcards a discount when they buy multiples from them. So that can be quite handy to, if you have buyers who like to collect, get them buying everything from you. Then with the Markdown Manager tool, this is what generates was now pricing on eligible discounted listings. And there are some eligibility requirements here. And this is mainly suitable for listings with multiple units, but you can use it for one-off items again. So again, if you are maybe selling in the antiques category and you really want to sell something quickly, or you've got some old computer games that you just want to make some space for something else, you can use Markdown Manager to run a sale on it. But the really important point here is you must be using the good till cancel format to establish the higher price. Now, in order to make a price comparison on eBay and on any other platform, you need to have sold the item for a certain amount of time at that higher price before you can show a discount. And only the good till cancel format on eBay allows you to do that because it rolls over each month. And so it's counting all the time that that item has been on sale as part of the price establishment period. Okay, so how these tools work together? Well, Promotions Manager, that one's really designed for conditional discounts. So you're not discounting the listing price of an item. This is based on order size discounts where you can do buy 4, get 1 free, get 1 more at 50%. Some of the examples that you see up on the screen here. And then there are the codeless coupon and accessory discount offers that we talked about already. The Markdown Manager is a little different. It's unconditional offers, so it is a straight discount on things. But it's only available on listings where the higher price is applied for 14 consecutive days before you apply the sale discounts on it. And then working them together, the sale event is what creates the promotional page. Now, this is actually quite a key step. As we go through the rest of this webinar, you'll see that we have some flashes that appear on discounted listings. If you are using the Markdown Manager tool to process your discounts, that will only do was now pricing where the price is shown. If you want those promotional flashes to appear, you must combine it with Promotions Manager and run a sale event. So if you've been wondering why your discounts on Markdown Manager aren't triggering those flashes, that's why. Equally, it's not enough just to turn on that flash facility. You need to have the discounts behind it. And Markdown Manager is the tool that drives those discounts. So where do you find these marketing tools? Well, we hope you're using our new Seller Hub now. So let me just show you where that can be found. So there is a tab called Marketing. So you would go to that one. If it's the first time that you've clicked on that tab, you're going to see the screen. And that just explains some of the different options. And then you just click the OK, got it button to get past that. Once you're in on the Marketing tab, over on the left-hand side, you'll see the links to merchandising. And that's where you'll find the links that will take you through to the Promotions Manager tool and the Markdown Manager tool. So let's now talk about the Promotions Manager tool. The Promotions Manager is a free tool for eBay Shop subscribers. Well, we have found that you can actually lift revenue up to 10% with quality promotions with this. So it's a manageable lift in your sales. What is a quality promotion? Well, these are promotions which make sense to buyers and are attractive enough that they're going to add more items to their basket. Of course, there are some promotions which don't really make sense to buyers and don't result in an increase in sales. And typically, these are where sellers have set up promotions across their whole shop and they sell quite a wide range of products. So an extreme example here might be a promotion which offers a discount when 2 or more items are bought. And because it's live across the whole shop, spark plugs are suggested on a listing for a dress. Now, that might be a combination that makes sense to you, but for most buyers it probably doesn't. So it's better to run promotions within a category, subcategory, or a selected range of products, such as £5 off when you spend £20 or more on T-shirts. So that's what we really mean by quality promotions. And later I'll be asking you to just put yourself in the customer's shoes and think about whether the offer that you're setting up does actually make sense to them. So reasons to use it: you can lift your sales, you can increase exposure of your items, and you can set up promotions once you know what you're doing in less than a minute. And we have retail standard promotion templates which you can use. There are several different types of promotions that you can set up using the Promotions Manager tool. And I've put some examples here on the screen. So order size discounts, that's your multi-buy offers. The sale events are the discount that you apply with Markdown Manager, and you use Promotions Manager to create the promotional page. Accessory discounts, typically on bundles, and codeless coupons are where you may want to reward your loyal buyers on eBay with an offer that's just for them. So order size discounts, we've got some examples on the screen here. And when you set that one up, it's going to be prominently displayed on your individual listings, on the basket and the checkout page. There's going to be a flash drawing people's attention to that. It'll be on an offer page where all of your promotional items, the items that are in that promotion, are going to be put together on one page. There's also an all offers page where people can look at all the different deals that you've got. And it will show on multiple devices. So it'll show on apps on mobile phones, and it'll show on the desktop version of the site as well. Let's have a look at how this displays on listings. On the left, we've got the desktop experience, and on the right, we've got the mobile experience. So on desktop, you can see that there are some prominent positions where promotional messages are displayed on your listings once you've activated a promotion on Promotions Manager. On a mobile, it's in a slightly different position. We've got less space to play with on a mobile device, but the offer is still highlighted there. When you get to the shopping basket, if somebody has added an item which is included in a promotion to their shopping basket, it's going to come up there. Now, something quite important to note here is that buyers need to use the basket in order to trigger the discount. If they buy each item individually on a promotion, each transaction is treated separately. So if they've done buy it now, buy it now, buy it now on 3 items, how is the system going to know that those 3 items are being bought by the same buyer in the same transaction because they've checked out separately? So we need buyers to add it to the shopping basket, and there are information points within the flow where they are told. So when it's in the shopping basket, if they've added a promotional item, there's a message to say here, hey, there's a promotion on this, and here's a link to where the other items are so you can find them. On a mobile device, it is also displayed in the shopping basket. And I mentioned a promotional page. So on the desktop experience, when somebody clicks on a link that's in the top of the flash, this is a promotional page that shows all of the items that are available. On the listing itself, there are some boxes that display other items that are available. People can click on that to add them to their basket as well. So how to set up a promotion. Some things to do just before you start that are going to make the process a lot easier and allow you to set that promotion up in less than a minute when you come to actually do it on eBay. First thing to think about is define the objectives. What are you actually trying to achieve with this promotion? So what are you doing? Are you clearing out old stock to make shelf space? Are you trying to compete with a newcomer in your category? Are you that newcomer who wants to kickstart your eBay business by running promotions? So think about what you're trying to achieve first. Then look at your costs. How much margin can you actually afford to give away here? Also think about whether it's costing you money having stock laying around. It may be depreciating over time. It may mean that you can't order in new stock that you think might be a really good seller. If that's the case, consider offering a deep discount on the second item. So buy one, get 75% off the second, or even a buy two, get one free. Anything that's going to clear up that shelf space for you. Then identify the products. Which items are you looking to promote? And you might not wish to put all of your stock into a promotion. So think about what are the individual products or what are the lines that you want to include in promotions. Then put yourself in your customer's shoes. Does the promotion actually make sense? Asking customers to spend £25 to qualify for a discount may not make perfect sense. If your items typically retail for 99p or $2.99, they've got to want a lot of your items to qualify for that promotion. And then think about the promotion type. Minimum number of items versus maximum spend. And this can really vary by category. For example, discounts based on quantity can be popular with fashion retailers, as it can help them to clear out seasonal stock. So this is your classic 3 for the price of 2, that sort of thing. But minimum spend could make sense if you want buyers to add on another item with a higher margin attached to it. Or you've got other costs that you want to cover and you want to make sure that no discounts are given under a certain spend level. So I'd like to give you a really top tip when you're thinking about what to include in your promotion. So it's tempting, but don't run one promotion across your entire shop unless you sell within a very niche category. So if you only sell postcards and that's all you sell, it's going to make sense to run a promotion across your whole shop. But if you also have different kinds of stock available, it probably won't make so much sense to them. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So instead, what we'd like you to do is run several focused promotions for specific categories or brands. Now put brands in there because you might want to do a sale on a certain brand or say a promotion on a certain brand. So if you wanted to do a discount when people buy Sony or Lego or Disney or any of these brand names, you can run a promotion across all of the items which have that in their description, or you can pick the items individually. Okay, so why don't we want to run one promotion across your entire shop? Well, one of the reasons is that when we're suggesting items, and when I say we, I mean eBay, when eBay systems are suggesting items to buyers on that promotional page, you as seller don't have any control over the order that they get displayed in. So what you want to do is control it a little bit by think of them as sub-promotions, maybe by brand or by product type. And that is going to help you to create a better, more searchable buying experience for potential customers. So run those promotions within category. Okay, so let us go straight on to the Marketing tab and getting it set up. So go to the Marketing tab in Seller Hub. When you click on Promotions Manager, there are actually two versions of this tool. There's an older version, which is the one shown at the back of this screen, and then there's a newer version, and it was updated just over a year ago. Now, we would prefer people to be using the newer version of the tool, and one of the reasons for that is it's a much more simple process. Now, it could be that you're very used to the old version of the tool and you like some of the functionality in that. In that case, continue to use it if you want to. But the newer version of the tool is much more easy to use. And if you're using Seller Hub and you haven't used promotions before, you're going to be defaulted to the new version of the tool. You can toggle between them. So for that reason, I'm going to talk about the newer version of the tool now and how to set up an order discount promotion with that. So what you do, go to Create a Promotion up there on the right-hand side, and then you click on Order Discount. You'll be asked what you want to promote, and this is why I asked you to think about, in advance, what are the items that you want to include in your offers. You'll be able to select for some drop-down menus, and this includes the categories that you're selling in. And then you'll be asked about the objective of your promotion. So are you looking to introduce new items, attract buyers at peak shopping times, or move older items? Once you've made a selection here, you'll be given some recommendations on offer types. And that's really by the categories that you're running a promotion in and what you're actually trying to achieve. You'll then have some recommended offers. And these are the ones that the system is guessing are probably going to be the ones that work for you, given the items that you're selling and what you're trying to achieve with your promotion. Now you see here, you've got, say, £10 when you buy one or more, and there's a drop-down menu. If you want to look at an extra 20% off, and you think that that's the only option you've got, it's not. Click on the what's called a radio button on the left-hand side where there's a little dot. Once that's clicked on, the drop-down menu will appear. So it's pretty customizable for you. And as you'll see, when you drop down from that £10, you'll be given lots of different options to discount by. And here we've got the drop-down shown for the percentage off. It's a little small on screen, I know here, but if you do want to have a look at all the different offer types, from that page you can click on it and it will bring them all up for you. And then you can select the items that you want to include in your promotion. So you can either select individual items, but that's only up to a maximum of 500, or you can select the items based on rules. Now, with rules, there's no maximum on there. Let me tell you about the difference between the two here. So selecting items, that's a highly customized promotion. And the promotion will only run on the items that you have put into that promotion there. One of the ways that differs from creating rules is that once you've got a rule set up, any new listings that you create will automatically be included in that promotion, unless you want to exclude them, of course. So if you want to have a highly customized list of items that doesn't change and doesn't pick up any new stock that comes in and would require you to then manually edit it if you want to add or remove different listings, select the option of selecting items. If you would prefer to save yourself a bit of time, use the rules. Now that, as I say, is going to pick up any new listings that you get and include them in the promotion as well. Okay, so a little bit small on screen, I know. So selecting items, you would just go to on that screen, and I'll just show you some of the screenshots here. So that will then show you the categories that you can choose from. You can select the individual items that are going to be appearing in your promotion. And then reviewing your offer, you then just set some descriptors. Some of this is to help you find it. So when you log into Promotions Manager, you'll be able to then identify which promotion is which. And you can then get a preview of how that might appear. There are two ways that you can do that. There's a different flow, and it's pretty intuitive. It'll talk you through what to do, whether you're selecting individual items or you're creating rules. Now, the rules can be around things like category, price level, all those sorts of things. So have a play around with it yourself. Now, let's talk about Markdown Manager. So this is a free tool for eBay Shop subscribers, and this is what drives, let's call, hard discounts on your listings. So running a sale on Markdown Manager, why would you do it? Well, one of the main reasons is to clear end-of-line or overstocks. You can also discount multiple items for a short period, and then it'll revert back to the full price. You can draw attention to price reductions by using Markdown Manager. So if previously you had just been changing the listing price, this will allow you to give a temporary price reduction and show what it was previously. If you just go in and edit the listing price, there's no comparison there. You can also display sale messaging in key buyer areas when you set up a sale event. And you can cross-promote related items using this. Now, Markdown Manager, just a note here, is designed for short duration price reductions. If you want to permanently change the price, it's probably better that you just edit the price of the listing, but you can have sales running one after another. So even though it's a short duration, if you want to discount for a little bit longer, you can do another sale to start straight after that one. So some key points with this. This is the tool that you would actually use to generate the was now pricing on listings. They need to have been listed for 14 days consecutively on eBay before you apply the discount using Markdown Manager. And you've got to comply with a lot of policies. And one more thing to mention, good till cancel format. That's the one to use with Markdown Manager. If you use 30 days or any other duration, it's not going to pick it up. You need to use good till cancel format in order to trigger your was now pricing. So this is how it displays on search results pages. If you've got a discount that you've done on Markdown Manager, it will show the current price, big, and show what it was. And of course that will then display on mobile as well. There are some things to bear in mind with Markdown Manager, and I'm going to read out the list to you. So they can be discounted from 5 to 50%. You can't edit a sale once it's active. You'd only be able to end it. There are minimum and maximum durations for fixed price sales. So fixed price sales can be between 1 and 14 days. If you want to run one for longer than 14 days, then set up another sale to start at the end of that. And the minimum duration between sales is 1 day. So you are going to have some time when it goes back to the standard price. You can do this on auction listings as well. Might seem counterintuitive, but it does work on Markdown Manager. If the listing is already on a sale or it's got bids on it, you can't add it to another sale. And very important, revising the item price and or the postage price causes the clock to reset. So where you've got this 14-day consecutive period that you need to establish a price for, if you change anything on the item price or any of the postage costs or options, it's going to knock it back to zero. So try and avoid doing that. And sales of more than 200 listings are going to take a little while to get processed. This is just really an FYI. And you can schedule them in advance. So this can help you if you know you've got certain times of the year that you want to do promotions. If you've got listings that are in multiple currencies and you want to choose to discount by an amount, not a percentage, that discount is going to be applied in the currency of the listing and it won't be converted. So now we're starting to get into the more complex features of Markdown Manager. If you're just selling in the UK, just keep it simple. And some other points to note. So I've said this already, but it must have been listed without any changes to the price for 14 days. And it can only be in one active sale at a time. But you can actually have the same item in some scheduled future promotions or some inactive ones that are past. Okay, a couple of other points there that you can see on the screen. And now I'm going to show you how to actually find it. So go to the Marketing tab in Seller Hub. It's the same place that we went for Promotions Manager, but you select Markdown Manager. Or if you haven't decided to use Seller Hub yet, you go to the Marketing Tools section via My eBay. You then click on Create Sale in Markdown Manager. And then you've got some options here. So you can choose a title for your sale, the start date, the end date, and the discount percentage or the certain amount that you want to discount by. You can select listings individually here if you want to. I know it's a little difficult to see on screen, but it's pretty straightforward as you go through the flow. You then click on Continue. You choose the listings that you want to be included in the sale. And then you start to edit it a little bit more and customize it according to what you're looking for from your sale and some of the things that you want to include there. And then finally, once you've completed the whole form, you're done. So it's pretty straightforward once you get into the process. Once your sale's set up, you're going to be able to see it. So if you want to review it before it starts, change something, you can do that. And the way to do that will be if you've got an active sale, you can have a look at Edit View Listings or Delete. Okay, so that is what generates the discount, so the hard discount that's going on Markdown Manager. Now let's look at how you get that promotional messaging on sale event. This is where you promote the sale that you created in Markdown Manager in combination with the Promotions Manager. What's different about this is you get this flash at the top of your listings here, so save on markdowns. There's also a page where people can see all of your markdown items together, so everything that's included in that sale. So if I haven't stressed it strongly enough, you create the sale, i.e. the discount using Markdown Manager. That's only going to change the pricing to the was now pricing. And then to create the flash and the promotional page, you use Promotions Manager. Important to note, Promotions Manager doesn't process the discount, Markdown Manager does. Promotions Manager does let you set up a sale event, and you may think you've completed the process, but it's not going to do the discounting. You need Markdown Manager to do that. So, to set up a sale event on Promotions Manager, go to the Marketing tab in Seller Hub and select Promotions. Then you're into the section here. Well, this section is if you use the Marketing Tools option to access it. If you're using version 2, so the new version of Promotions Manager, you go from the drop-down menu to create a promotion to sale event. Whichever route you take to get to sale event, you're going to end up on a page that looks like this. So I'll talk you through the process here. So we're setting the sale percentage first. So what percentage do you want to discount your stock by? And this is the message that's going to appear on your promotional page. Now, this is different to maybe what you've set up in the discount itself. So if you want to do a promotional page that is save up to 50%, the same thing applies as if it was your shop window in a physical store. Rule of thumb, you've got to have around 10% of your stock at that highest discount rate. You can't have 100 items for sale. One of them's at 50% off and the rest are at 10% off, and then say up to 50% off. It's misleading. And if you sell out of that one line that's 50% off, you're going to find that the Advertising Standards Authority may come knocking on your door. So think carefully about the sale percentage you're going to put in here. Then you choose qualifying items for your sale. So you can do it by rules, and you can decide what's included or what's excluded. You can restrict the inventory by SKU or stock keeping unit, or by item ID. So if we do it, so once you've made your choice there, we then go to describing the items on sale. Scheduling your sale event. Pretty straightforward. Just select the dates that you want the promotional aspect of this to run for. Typically, you're going to want to match it to when the sale on Markdown Manager is happening. And if you want to add a picture that represents the offer, you can do that here. So you can choose from one of your listing photos, or you can select other things too. So in summary, how these things work together. So you've got the Promotions Manager that will do a conditional discount. So you could run 3 for 2 offer. You've got Markdown Manager doing unconditional discounts, and people only need to buy one to qualify for that. Two aspects of this that you combine is the discount on Markdown Manager with Promotions Manager. But that's not the only way you can combine it, because here's the trick. You can have items which are included in a sale, so have got a was now price on them. So let's say you're discounting, and then you think, oh, I really want to give this sale a bit of oomph. You can then do a further discount on Promotions Manager. So you can have the same listing that's discounted in Markdown Manager. Let's say it was £100, now it's £75. And that's what's showing on your listing. But if people buy 2, they get a further discount. So then they trigger that conditional discount. So you would put it into a sale on Markdown Manager, and then you can include the same listings in an order size discount offer. That will work. So you can do the two together and really give your sales some oomph. Okay, I'm now going to talk to you about some things that you can do with postage, which are quite neat. Now, please forgive me if you know a lot of this already. I know many of our sellers are pretty experienced with the combining payments part of it, but may not be using the flat and promotional postage rules. So if there are things that you already know, just bear with us. If it's all new to you, great. Grab a pen and make lots of notes. So combining the payments, the flat and promotional postage rules. So main advantages is passing on cost savings to customers, reducing the risk of complaints and or low ratings. And this is where buyers get a bit like, I ordered a couple of items. Why have they charged me for each item that I've ordered on the postage? And with the flat postage rules and promotional postage rules, there's no need for buyers to ask you for how much you would charge for some additional items. So it works by using the basket again, or the checkout, the shopping basket here, and then they need to go to the checkout to complete the transaction. So they need to be buying everything together. They can request a total price from you via the checkout, so you put all the things in there, and then they can contact the seller asking for a price to send it out. But when your promotional or postage discount rules are set up and are activated, that can all be done for you, and it deducts from the total cost. And then if you're using that part of it, buyers can see the postage discount straight away. There's no need to contact you. So firstly, in all cases, you need to set up combined payments, and you do this via site preferences. So go into my eBay in the site preferences section there. You then go to the section that's about postage and packaging preferences and click Show. That then opens up, and you'll see on the right-hand side there's the link to change the settings on combined payments and postage. Once you're in there, first thing to do is set up combined payments, and this allows people to combine purchases into one transaction. So we'll just take you through a couple of the steps here. You can set the period where people can benefit from combined postage. Some people like to have a long period, so if they buy a few things over a few weeks, this can work for sellers who are doing a lot of auctions that are ending at different times maybe, and they want people to be able to combine postage. But you may want to just do it for a short period of time. So you select the number of days you want to do, and then once that's set up, when people go to the shopping basket, there's the option for them to request a total from the seller. And then what you will get, so you'll get a notification about this when they're asking for a total price. But this is what the buyer will see. And then the flat rate postage rule. This is where you would just charge a little bit extra for the second, third, fourth item, for example, or you would add free postage for secondary items. So again, you go back to the same screen, you go via site preferences, but this time you are looking at the flat postage rate. You open that up, and then you've got some options that you can choose from. You can either add an amount for each additional item, or you can make some deductions. And as you can see, it's very straightforward to set up. But the most important thing you need to remember to do is edit your listings. So you apply that rule when you list. So on the listing form, you need to select Apply My Flat P&P Rate. It's not going to pick it up automatically. So if you've got existing listings that you now want to apply this flat postage rate, so you're going to have to go back and edit them. It's not automatically going to pick it up. How it appears to buyers is in the postage section further down. They'll be shown when there would be a discount for adding on additional items. If you offer click and collect, it's also shown there too. And on a mobile device, you will see that there's information shown to the buyer showing how much they're going to save if they add further items to the basket and order them from you as well. And here you can see in the desktop version The discount is being calculated automatically for the buyers. And again on mobile. Another way that people can do it is via business policies, and for some people that's their preference. So if you do decide to do it through business policies, I know not everybody is set up to use business policies, but that's one way that you can do it. And then you would select the domestic postage in there. Okay. So the promotional postage rule. So this is using automatic offers to encourage a higher transaction value. So offering combined postage means that you can automate promotional postage adjustments. So you can create customized offers based on order value or volume, then offer free, discounted, or capped postage. The rule that you select applies to all listings that have combined postage discounts for both flat and calculated postage costs. And buyers who see free postage for multiple purchases are more likely to purchase more than one item from a seller. Now, of course, if you already bundle the postage price into your listing price, this isn't necessarily going to be something that works for you because people are already getting it free. However, if you do charge for postage, let's say you've got really bulky items and it's expensive for you to courier things out to people. Maybe it's £20, £30 and you can't afford to bundle that into your price, but you want to give people promotional discounts on postage if they spend over a higher amount perhaps. This will allow you to do it. So it really depends on what works for your business. Some people want to do free postage on every listing. Other people just want to do it when people meet certain conditions. Some people like their buyers to see full visibility of what the postage is actually costing. So when buyers qualify for your promotional postage rule, the promotion is going to take priority over your flat or calculated postage costs. And this obviously only applies for order where postage is actually paid. Okay, so let's look at how we set this up. So you go into My eBay site preferences, go through to the combined payments and postage discounts, and then you select the promotional postage rule. You've then got a few options that you can choose from. So you need to think about how you want to set this up for yourself. You can maybe do free postage when people spend over a certain amount, discount it when a certain number of items are bought together. You can really play around with it and customize it so that it's going to meet your business needs here. So lots of drop-down menus, customizable menus there. As you can see, we've got an example here where postage is free when you spend a certain amount. You set that all up, click Save as before, and then again, you must apply the rule when you're actually making your listings. And once you've got a promotional postage rule in place, you'll have the option to apply my promotional postage rule when you're going through that listing process. So if you've already got things that are active on eBay and you want to apply this promotional rule to them, you'll need to just make a note to go back and edit your listings to do this. What does it look like? Well, once you set it up and you've got your promotional postage rule in place, these are the places it's going to apply on your listings. So when a buyer sees it, that's what's going to appear. So you'll have like free standard delivery. And you'll see in this particular example, it's when you buy a certain number of items. You'll also see that like with Promotions Manager, you get the opportunity to cross-promote some of your items there. So when you're offering free standard delivery on certain numbers of items, they'll be pulled in here and show them to your buyers. On a mobile device, it's going to look similar, but we only have limited space available. We can't have everything being called right out to buyers. So there's information there about any postage promotions that we have available on a mobile device. Once they're in checkout, they're reminded to add more items to their basket to qualify for free postage. And this can be quite an incentive to get people to trade up and add more to their basket. And then on a mobile device, it's highlighted as well. So, what's next? We've covered quite a lot today already, and I know many of you have been asking questions. If you're not using Promotions or Sales yet, there is a downloadable user guide for Promotions Manager. This can be found within eBay's Seller Center. So to find eBay's Seller Center on a laptop, computer, go on to ebay.co.uk, scroll right down to the bottom of the page where you've got some options and look for a link that says Seller Center. If you haven't visited it yet, it is a really great resource for learning more about how to sell on eBay. There's a downloadable user guide within Promotions Manager there, so you've got a choice. You can either copy down the URL that we've got up on screen here, so it's sellercenter.ebay.co.uk/business/promotions-manager, or go to the home page on eBay, go all the way to the bottom, click on Seller Center, and then make sure you're in the business section, because there's a personal and business section. Click on the business section and type Promotions Manager in that search bar, and that will bring up the page for Promotions Manager. You can also download the guide from there. You can do the same thing if you're looking for information about Markdown Manager, combined payments, flat postage rules, promotional postage rules. All that information is there within Seller Center for you. What we'd recommend is start with an order size discount promotion. Try to do it within the next month while this information is still fresh in your mind. If you want to come back and watch the replay, that will be available on the same link that you came to watch the webinar live. So you don't need to go anywhere else. It's available there as well. And just get that information. If you've got other people that work with you, share it with them. Share that replay with them. If you're thinking about using Markdown Manager, that takes a little bit of consideration before you get started. So if you're not already using Good Till Cancel format, you'll need to use that format on your listings. And you'll need to establish the price for 14 days. So if you've got all fired up from listening to the webinar and you think, right, I really want to run a promotion, best way to do it is use Promotions Manager tool and do an order size discount first, because that can be live within a few minutes. You don't have to wait. The full price will still be shown on your listing, but buyers will see that there are discounts available if they're buying more than one item or spending a certain amount. So it's a really good way to get started. Then once you're clear on what you want to put into Markdown Manager, make a note to not edit those listings for the next 14 days, and don't edit it after the sale is started, but you're going to need to make sure they've been unedited for 14 days. If you've got listings that are good till cancelled, they run day in, day out, they've been at the same price for 6 months, great, you can get started with Markdown Manager. But I know for a lot of people, they make tweaks. Even if it's just changing a penny on the price, it's going to reset the clock to 0. So some things for you to do. Please do set aside some time to get started on this. I'd recommend setting aside maybe an hour a month, just planning promotions, reviewing the promotions you've got live, thinking about what's working, what's not, what can you tweak, what can you improve. If you're already running promotions or sales, really recommend that what you do next is plan ahead. You can schedule promotions with Promotions Manager in advance. You can also schedule sales on Markdown Manager in advance. So when you've got some slow time, or maybe you've got somebody who's got a couple of weeks to spare and they can help you out. Maybe this is something over Easter holidays if you've got a nephew or someone who's looking for a bit of work experience, or daughter who is scratching around looking for something to do. Now, if they're children, probably best not let them alone on your eBay business. But if there are people who want to get experience in e-commerce and are willing to help you out, this is the sort of thing that you can just get them scheduling things in advance for you, or if you want complete control, do it all yourself. So set them up using rules, and then you're not going to have to come back and edit them nearer the time. The rules are going to pick your listings up straight away. Okay, so what we've covered today, we've covered how to set up multi-buy offers using the Promotions Manager tool, how to run a sale using the Markdown Manager, how to then create a sale page which showcased your discounted items. So this was the discounts on Markdown Manager promoted with a page on Promotions Manager, and how to create combined postage and free postage promotions, and also any other discounted postage promotions. Do join us on the community to continue the discussion. If you go to the bottom of the eBay homepage on your laptop or computer, find a link down there for eBay Community. It'll be in a similar place to where you find Seller Center. So on the community, then select Discussion Boards, go to Selling on eBay, and eBay Growth Webinar Discussions. You'll be able to talk to other sellers in there, ask them how they're getting on with their promotions, if there's something you're not sure about, something you're stuck with, or maybe you've got something that wasn't really covered on this webinar, or something that's prompted some questions for you and you want to ask us at eBay. Go in there. You'll need to log in if you want to leave a comment. You don't need to log in if you just want to read, and some people just want to read what other people have said. And we've also got discussions that were from the webinars that we've done previously. So if there are topics that are on your mind but haven't been covered today, do have a look in the community and see whether we've covered it on a previous webinar. You can always access the replays. Or just use the community to talk to other sellers, get their advice. Ask them if there are things that they would recommend. And finally, if you want to access some of the replays of the previous webinars that we've done and see what's coming up, you can go to Seller Center, same place that we went to download the user guide, sellercenter.ebay.co.uk/business/webinars. And again, if you're in Seller Center, just type in webinars and it'll bring up the page where we've got the recordings of the other webinars. Now, what we've done to try and make it easy for you is where there are recordings available there, we've put some timestamps on it so you know which time point to go to find out about the bit that you want to hear about. You might not want to listen to the entire webinar if you've heard it all before, but just go back and listen to one section over again. You'll be able to do that. So we're almost out of time, so I'm just going to leave the line open for a couple more minutes to allow us to try and answer some more of your questions. But as I say, if we don't get to your question, don't worry, we have read it, and what we'll do is we'll go back onto the community and we'll answer the most frequently asked questions via the community. If there's something that you're having a problem with on your eBay selling account, and it's not something that you want to talk about in the community, or it's a very particular problem to you, then please do contact our customer support. And you can do that by going to ebay.co.uk on a laptop or computer and go to Help at the top there. You might find the answer to the question when you type in your question, or you can actually contact somebody from eBay and they'll give you a hand. So I hope you found this useful. As I say, I'll just leave it open for a couple more minutes and then it's going to disconnect on the hour, and we hope we can get your questions answered. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed your eBay for Business webinar.